The Ecchicast, episode 26, recorded on September the 26th, 2016. Hi, ikimashou! Shinobi Tenshin! Boing, boing. Oh, I have a sword and a shield now. I'm a ninja now. You're fucked. Your clothes are gonna come off. You're gonna be naked. Hello there, everybody. Welcome to the Ecchicast. This is episode 2006? No, not yet. That's in like years from now. I don't know what the hell's going on with me. Man, I apologize. I like to say weird or random things at the beginning of an episode, but then I had a really good one, but then I forgot, and I'm like, what was it? I don't know. It's a Senran Kagura episode today, so I guess I'm gonna do something ninja-related. Anyway, this is the Ecchicast. Hi. This is, one of your sources, but, it really should be your only source for ecchi-related content. I'm Jorge Varela, also known as the Hat Person, and joining me today is Caduce Campbell. Q, how are you doing?
I just want to make it completely clear. This is the number one source for ecchi content on the internet. There are other sources that we fully endorse.
Not as good.
But yeah, we're number one. I mean, it's just, I mean, you listen to this, you think to yourself, mate, I mean, the other sources are good, but they're just the best. They're number one, We won a prize for this.
I mean, we're so good. We're not even number one. We're number 0. We're the origin of all ecchi.
I don't like that. I don't think that would be the origin of all ecchi, mate. I mean, if we were the origin of all ecchi, then
we are the Mew of ecchi, and all of the other ones were just Mewtwo and like some other mega evolution.
But then Mew's not, Mew's not the number one Pokemon anymore. Like the beginning, it was Arceus.
Yeah. Mew was like the base level, like the missing link of all Pokemon. But now freaking Arceus had to come in and muck up the lore.
Yeah, he just sort of just like, you know what, I am number one now, and you are just, Pokemon lore is just confusing to me now. I don't get it. I'm just so like, I feel like an old guy when I think about Pokemon. I mean,
whenever people have that attitude of, Generation 1 or nothing, or Generation 2 was okay, I guess, but, everything else is like, this is stupid and this is stupid, only the stuff that I grew up with.
Exactly. It's pretty much how I feel about it. I'm just like, I'm Gen 2, but I like Gen 1 as well. Anything past Gen 2, I'm kind of like, I mean, I'll play the others, and it's just that Pokemon has become so complicated now. It's like work. You have to like literally
like spreadsheets of all the types and all the EVs and IVs and all the stats and stuff.
I kid you not, I know people that do that shit, and I'm like, are you serious, man? Isn't this supposed to be fun?
Yeah, that's exactly the thing that I ask, because whenever people do tournaments, whenever I catch a Pokemon, like, I never think about the stats. I'm always like, this guy looks cool, he's a dragon, and he breathes fire. So I just catch him, right? There we go, I have a Charmander or whatever. But then other people, they kind of just look at it as a set of numbers, and whichever one has the highest numbers, that's the one that they're going to keep, because that'll allow them to win, because they just want to win, and so that's a little cold and heartless, I don't think Nintendo kind of had that idea in their mind going into it, right? I do want to make a fun game where you catch, creatures and they're your friends, but then there are other people, like 30-year-old neckbeards, that take it so fucking seriously, like you say, oh, well, I think Vaporeon is cooler than Jolteon. They're like, no! How can you say that? How can you stand here and tell me that? Their stats are so low. Jolteon is clearly faster than Vaporeon. And then I'm like, but he has good defense. No!
It's totally that. It's just that works. For me, I basically, I think when I give up, when I just reached that point where I was just like, you know what, I'm done, was after X and Y. And how that happened, I blame a guy I met at a convention, really. I went to a convention, and I carried my Pokemon because I knew people were bringing Pokemon with them. I was like, okay, mate, I'm gonna go. There was a Pokemon tournament. I was like, I'll have my Pokemon with me. I'll do Pokemon stuff and things like that. And then all of a sudden, this bloke comes up to me and he's like, hey, how's it going? I see you got Pokemon and stuff. I'm like, yeah. He's like, what's your levels and stuff like that. I was like, okay, well, I have this and that. And he's like, do you IV train? I'm like, what?
Yeah, like,
he's like, do you AV?
Do you breed your Pokemon? Do you just, like, grab, like, one Pokemon and take it to a daycare and then put it next to a Ditto and then just keep farming all these Pokemon?
Yeah, exactly like that. He was like, and for me, I was like, I mean, obviously no. So I was like, no, and the guy gave me a look. It was like a look of scorn.
Yeah, you just called him the N-word or something.
It was just so terrible, and I was like, God, man, seriously? And so he was just like, he's just like, oh, well, because I was saying, like, I wanted to get into tournament and stuff. He's like, yeah, you won't win and stuff. He's like, everyone AV trains and they IV trains and they do other things. And I was just like, oh, so that's the thing now. Okay, well, I was like, well, I'm done with Pokemon then.
So that's how it is.
I don't, because when I asked him, I was like, so what is this EV train, IV train thing? And the thing is, I'd heard about EV train and IV train before, before I met this bloke, but when I Googled it, I couldn't understand it. Like, the explanations they had were just ridiculous, and I was just like, I don't get this. Maybe it's just some kind of, super dorky thing that, the dorkiest of gamers figure out or whatever have you. And so I was like, you know what? I just accepted that I don't know what this is, and I'll just play Pokemon the way I learned to play Pokemon, which is get all your Pokemon to level 100 and then challenge the Elite Four. Like, that's basically what it was.
Just play Pokemon like a normal person instead of doing all this stat shit that people in tournaments do.
Exactly. And but then, after this guy explained it to me, I was like, oh, so it's like hidden stats that you don't really see, and you have to, figure it out and, do math and have like a spreadsheet, like you said, and all that kind of crazy shit. I was like, you know what? You can keep that shit.
I'm good.
And I'm done. Yeah. I have other games I would like to be playing with my time. I'm very sorry. Not playing Pokemon anymore. And that was it. For me, it was like, at that point in time, I was like, I can't play Pokemon anymore. I give up. I was just like, it's not for me. I mean, there are way too much things I could be doing in my life. And Pokemon's just not one of them. So I was just like, yeah, I'm definitely not doing Pokemon anymore, and
yeah, that's okay. That's perfectly fine. There's more than enough Pokemon to go on for everybody. I personally like Generation. I've never been the kind of guy to be like, oh, I only like this generation. I like 1 all the way to 3. I think the 3rd generation is like its highest point, and then I would be fairly glad to skip Generation 4, and then 5 and 6 are alright, and all of these new ones from Sun and Moon also seem pretty cool, especially now that they're making like alternate different versions of all of the original Pokemon, just like an Ice Sandshrew and like a super long neck Executor, and like, yeah, they're getting actually really creative in a way that I wasn't expecting. So yeah, so from 1 to 3 is a roller coaster going all the way up, and then 4 and 5, going down, but then, towards the end of the 5th generation, then going on to 6, and then with Sun and Moon, okay, it's going back up. I'm feeling it.
Oh, God, and there goes the neighbor kids.
No, they're just a Pokemon. There's a Pokemon just passing by. You gotta throw a ball at them and catch them so that they never speak again.
I think if that's a Pokemon, I'd call it Assholemon. It'd just be like, that's what an asshole song's like.
Well, that's Digimon. The Digimon are the ones that every single name end with Mon.
I know Digimon is that one, but I mean, this would be a special case, mate.
Man, all of those Digimon names are like super complicated though, because that is like, if Pokemon is Japanese, Digimon is even more Japanese. Like, this is Gentaromon! Oh, Ichichikani ni Kakaraka Kokomon!
I think for Digimon, I tried Digimon at first when it came out, because at the time Pokemon was really popular, and I was really getting into. I think I was just getting into Japanese anime, like to the extent that I got into it, and so I was just getting into it, and I was like, you know what, I'll try this Digimon thing. And I think I was by a friend of my dad's or something. My dad was, by a friend, and I was just there, and the telly was on. And they just, they were in another room chatting or whatever have you. And I was in a room by myself with a telly. So, it had Cartoon Network on, and Digimon was playing. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to watch this Digimon thing. And by God, it was the episode when they showed off Garbage Man. I was like, yup. Not for me.
I remember watching the first season of Digimon, the entire first season with the original cast and all the original Digimon, and I remember liking it okay. never liked it as much as Pokemon, because with Pokemon it felt like it was an adventure, right? And that you were learning, and it was lighthearted, and it was fun, and all of the, Pokemon seemed very, like, animal-like and very approachable and friendly. In Digimon, they were like Gundams, like, they would transform into, like, these big demonic things. And when I say that it's Japanese, it's super Japanese in that stereotypical sense where everybody talks about their feelings and hearts, and, they would get so overly melodramatic, like, no, Chinokara Kokomon, you can't leave me! And then the Digimon talk, right? So they're like, don't worry, Kentaro, I will always be in your heart. Chikokara Kinashaka Shakamon! And then they would go and do some very super exaggerated, like, kill attack. And then, like, the music in the background is, like, super J-poppy. Koko ni haguru wa shakeboshi kakeru. And like, nah! Just very, like, every single time people do a parody of anime, that's usually what I think about, like, Digimon. Like, super, like, overly emotional, overly melodramatic, people crying all the time, and then J-pop in the background. Nah. I can enjoy it sometimes depending on my mood, but for me it's kind of Pokemon, I want to be the very best like no one ever was. Dun, 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 dun.
For me, I gave up on Pokemon when I gave up on Pokemon like the anime. I gave up when they did, was it, I think I can't remember I think it was before, I think it was right before Black and White, or Black and White, I think. It was basically when they announced that they showed off Ash Ketchum's age again, and they said, oh, he's still 10, and they said he's starting his new adventure and stuff. I was like, no, he's not. He went through an entire adventure with all these other stuff. Dude's supposed to be like 20. And I was just like, you know what? This show is not getting any, it's not going to be evolving anymore. I was like, I think it's about time I move on. And I haven't watched Pokemon since. I don't think, the only Pokemon I've watched are, those, the animated movies that they did with the ones for X and Y, I think, where they did like with the Charizard, where they did Red instead of Ash. Oh, those were great. I enjoyed those. I don't want to see any more Ash Ketchum stuff. I was just like, you know what, I'm done. I gave up. This series is not gonna evolve, because I think I wanted it to grow with the viewers, like, as I aged, it aged, but it isn't. It just, Pokemon reaches a point where you're an adult and Pokemon is now a kid thing. It doesn't get anything. And I think Digimon recently, they revamped their series, and the characters are old, and I think that is kind of a great thing. The characters age with the fan base. If you want to do one for the younger generation, then you start a new season with new characters. And the thing is that it's not hard for Pokemon to start with new characters, because they're always introducing new characters in the games, So they have new characters, and
they have definitely done it before. It's not a thing that's like completely unheard of. There have been like little animated shorts, and then there's like other like side stories that fully feature a completely different cast of characters, and sometimes even those side characters that got introduced before, they come back and they do something else. And so Pokemon is a very vast world, and they're not taking advantage of it because they want to focus on the story of this guy that somehow found like the fountain of youth and is now eternally young. And
and then they're not exploring his character. I mean, even he as a character can be explored in a deeper sense. The other characters he's met over the time.
I remember at the very beginning, like during season 1 and 2, during like generation 1 and 2, it was fairly interesting. I liked Ash because at the beginning he was just a fucking kid that said, I want to be a Pokemon master, but he didn't even know how the fuck to even start. In every single episode, everybody had to explain to him, no, listen, these are Pokeballs, you catch them with them, here's the Pokedex. And so, and I remember during the initial episodes, pretty much every single time Ash fought against somebody, he would always lose. And then it was during the second fight, after he learned something important, then he would win. And so, like, that's what I want to see. I want to see that guy fuck up and make mistakes, and then be like, okay, now I know what I'm doing wrong. Let's try it again. Now I win. Now I know. Let's move on to the next town and beat up someone else.
But that's pretty much what it is like now, to a certain extent. I think the thing, though, for me is that I kind of wanted him to, during the whole of season 1, where he was just, learning and everything like that, I kind of expected him to mess up. But then as he got along, he'd become a total bamf. It's like, like Naruto. Naruto started off a total, suck up, and then after a while, he just sort of just got better. And then he became like a total badass, and I kind of expected Ash would be that. He is a kind of badass, but
Yeah,
The thing is that
little
he's
bit,
still
a little bit, but it's not exciting. Like all of the modern, more recent episodes of Pokemon that I've seen, I obviously haven't seen all of it, but all of the ones that I have been able to catch on TV or whatever always feature Ash winning victoriously no matter what. I'm like, he doesn't like fuck up anymore. Like he has had so many experiences. Like he just never seems to lose ever. And anybody that does lose is like a friend of his or whatever. And also like, yo, here comes Team Rocket again for the 10 millionth time. Like, okay.
He does lose actually in recent times. At least so I've heard. I mean, he does lose battles. I mean, he loses the most important ones at least. And so to me, I just don't feel it. Pokemon's just not my cup of tea anymore. I mean, I think I've outgrown it. You know, I think I've reached that point where it's not for me anymore. And I'm not saying it isn't for the younger generations. I mean, if I grew up loving Pokemon, it was amazing for me as a kid. So I think younger kids, yeah, it's an awesome series. But I think as you reach a certain age, you outgrow it, and then you just leave it alone, and you go back to your regular life. I mean, it still gets me excited. Like Sun and Moon has me a bit excited. I'm kind of curious to see what happens.
I think I definitely agree with you in terms of the anime, but every single time a new Pokemon game comes out, I can never get enough of it. I always end up playing it for like 2 months, and then I stop, and then another Pokemon game comes, and that's another 2 months that I just invest on it. So I still like the games. It's just the show that kind of falls short to me, because yeah, it doesn't appeal to us anymore. Now we just like to see ninjas with giant tits.
For the games, I'm more like I buy all the games. I don't finish them though. I haven't finished a Pokemon game in ages, and I think it's related to the fact that I just don't I don't get the excitement I used to get before from Pokemon. You know, because I think the game and the show went hand in hand like that. You'd watch the episodes and then you'd go play the game and try and, you know, find the Pokemon that you saw in the episodes, and when you found a Pokemon, you'd know who it was and how cool it was, you know, from seeing it in the show and all that. Now I see Pokemon and I'm like, okay, so you're a ice cream cone with yeah, okay,
so
cool.
you're a trash bag with a face.
Yeah, okay, well, you do you, mate. You do you. And then basically that's basically it for me. I'm just not I'm not feeling it anymore. So I mean I'm excited to see what X and Y is going to be about. And I'm hearing X and Y. Sorry, Black. Is it X and Y? What's the new one called? Sun and Moon.
Sun and Moon, yeah.
And I've seen trailers for it and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, it looks interesting. You know, I mean, the only thing is just I'm like, is it gonna just become the same thing as the others? I mean, I want something new. I want a new battle system for crying out loud. It really seems.
Nah, I don't think that'll ever happen ever, especially not with all this competitive tournament stuff happening. But apparently they are changing up a lot of stuff. There's a lot of different battles. I mean, there's a lot of different attacks, a lot of different special items that you can use to have more badass attacks. You know, you still have the Mega Evolutions. You have like the region specific Pokemon. You have like the regular Sandshrew, but then you also have like the Alolan Sandshrew, which is like an Ice Sandshrew. You have an ice version of Vulpix and all those kinds of things. And also, apparently, there are not going to be any gyms in this game. Like, there won't be any gyms. They're going to be like island leaders or something. They're going to be like leaders of a village or a town or whatever. And then you fight those people. It's going to be like a very informal thing rather than going into a building, solving a puzzle, and then, fighting the dude.
Oh, okay. I like the sound of that. It sounds interesting enough. Island leader. I am island leader Paul. And,
no,
this is my island.
This is more Alolan. So imagine Hawaii. It's gonna be more like, oh, here's Tak, or here's Maroon, or something like that.
So are you just saying that Hawaiian people don't come with Pauls?
I mean,
I'm sure there's a Hawaiian Paul.
I mean, to me, Paul sounds more like an English-British name than like a Hawaiian-style name. I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of Pauls out there, but you know.
I'm just imagining there's a Hawaiian Paul listening to this, and he's like, so it's like that. How you just judging me? How dare you?
How dare you? Stereotype us.
I will have you know that my Hawaiian parents taught, that Paul is a Hawaiian name.
I am Paul the 7th, so there's at least 6 other Pauls out there, sir.
Exactly, in your face.
Yeah, I mean, all I'm gonna say is that your best friend in the game is named Hao, and then there's like a whole bunch of other leaders that are named like Matumba or something like that. They have like very much like those kinds of names. So I'm just saying.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm just, I'm just defending the Pauls out there. You guys know I got your back. It's okay. Sure. I'm gonna defend you.
that typical one, like, I'm not racist, but kind of comments of like, oh no, I have a lot of friends whose names are Paul. I have a lot of black friends, so I'm not racist.
You know, I don't think I have any friends named Paul. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, I don't have any Paul friends either.
I knew a Paul though. I think his name was Paul Clement or something. I'm not too sure, but I think I knew a Paul. But I think we went to school together or something. I don't think I hang out with any Pauls though. I think,
now that we're speaking about reminiscing stuff that happened in the past, why don't we begin with the show with the weekly roundup? What are you doing this week? You go first.
Okay, well, this week or last week? If we're talking about this week,
well, today's Monday, so like, I woke up, I brushed my teeth, ate, and now we're here. But no, last week, yeah.
Okay, so last week I had a lot of meetings, a lot of work, I had a lot of classes to teach that I didn't expect that I would be teaching as much classes as I was, or maybe I just didn't expect how much work it would be to teach that much classes. And so I took on a bit more than I could chew, I guess, if you want to call it that. And so one of the days I had like a meeting, like a couple meetings actually. You know, I had one with my accountant, then I had to meet with another company, and then some other meetings. And eventually by the time I was done with all those, I had a class like 7 p.m. So I had all those meetings during the day, and then I got home and it was like 7 p.m. I had a class to teach. And I was so out of it. Like I think that class just sucked. I know those students think I sucked as their lecturer. And the worst part is that I was there for this class with me. So
great first impression.
Yeah, terrible first impression indeed. I don't. The weird part though is that like after the class, I got emails from them. Trying to remind me, to send it. I still have to send those students some stuff. But I've just been so busy with meetings and stuff, and dealing with that for the school, and then dealing with the site and other things as well. So just being really, really hectic. I got a couple reviews up last week, I think. You and I did the Criminal Girls one.
Yeah.
And then Pez, yeah. And I'm working on FIFA right now, the review for FIFA 17. So there's that. That's coming. It's supposed to be today, if I can pull it off before it gets too late. But yeah, today's the deadline I set for myself. I was like, you know what, you need to get this done by today, Q. And so I set that as the deadline, and so I'm gonna try to get it done today. So yeah, pretty much a work week. It was very work related, very not what you would consider the best of the best weeks. But I hung in there. I think I hung in there, and I put the grind to the I don't know what you call it. You started working hard, making buildings, pounding the pavement. Every time someone says you started, I start thinking you started from the bottom, now you're here.
Yeah, it's not about how many times you hit. It's about how much you get hit and keep going.
Yeah, definitely.
Rocky Balboa, ladies and gentlemen.
Rocky Balboa. So yeah, pretty much just a casual week. Right now, I know for this week I have a class to teach today, which I have to do a makeup class for a class. And then I have I'm while recording this podcast, I'm actually sketching myself. And so here's what I'm gonna do, right? Because I want to do something cool for you guys. I'm gonna record something on my Instagram. And it's gonna have this it's gonna have the sketch. That's so far what it looks like on my Instagram, those Instagram stories. So like if anyone it's gonna be gone by the time you guys see this,
then just take a picture and post it.
Okay, fine, I'll post a picture, man.
There we go.
I was thinking the stories, you know what, if anyone follows me on Instagram, you get to see like a short video thing. And if anyone for the rest of you, you'll have to see it when it goes up, when it's just like a picture of something. But yeah, basically this is what I'm doing while I'm recording the show. So yeah, that's the thing. Instagram.com/LPGuardian. You can go over there and see a picture that he's making 20 minutes into the show. Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna put sketching myself, because
you're very vain like that.
I know, right? I think I am. My mom always tells me I'm really self-centered. I'm really. What's the word? She says she does use the word vain, but there's another word she uses.
Narcissistic, egocentric, self-centered.
Not the self-centered one.
Hentai, Roricon. Just like I just imagine like a tsundere just like stomping on you, pervert, lolicon, horrible piece of shit.
I don't know, mate. I don't know which it is, but either way, I can't remember right now. But either way, mom calls me something, and so it's something related to me loving myself. I love myself, mate. I mean, you know, if I could choose to be anyone else, I would choose to be myself.
No, that is a fantastic lesson that anybody should learn. That's just not you being vain. I think that's the thing you could apply to everybody. I would never be happy being anyone else that isn't me.
Exactly. I mean, could you imagine?
Granted,
a better version of me would be cool. You know, like a version of me that's probably a chick. You know, with boobs and stuff. I mean, yeah, that can also work. I don't know how, and I'm not gonna sketch boobs onto my sketch version of me, but yeah, that could probably be a thing. Yeah, but hey, what about your week? I mean, we're talking about me. What about you? What have you been up to?
I really haven't been up to much. I finished playing Psycho Pass and Mandatory Happiness, or at least one of those stories, but I think I know enough to be able to review it. I think it is about time for me to start typing up some stuff. I like it a lot. The game has been out for a little while now for PS4 and for Vita. I think I recommend the PS4 version because I think the text on the Vita version kind of sucks. So it just looks a little weird, looks a little fuzzy. On PS4, at least it's on a big TV. And so if I could define the game in any way, I think it would be CSI the anime. Like futuristic CSI. It's like a cop show. You know, there's a lot of talking and obviously like going out there and chasing down criminals and stuff. I think it was very exhilarating. I thought it was really, really cool. I like the characters. I like hearing them talk. I like, you know, the world that they live in and all that kind of stuff. It is a little bit slow at the beginning, but you know, after you beat the game one time and then you go back and you reload to all of the save files that I had where I had to make a whole bunch of different decisions, and then it's really fun to just see all the possibilities happen because then there's like bad endings and good endings and moments where you die and you have to reload, but then moments where you keep going and different relationships that you can have with different people. And like there are different trophies that you get based on what, like, you know, for lack of a better word, you know, for what social link you end up getting by the end of it. And so it's really important to have all those save files, you know, saved up so you can just go back and reload without having to play through the whole game all over again from the beginning.
For me, my experience with Psycho Pass was I didn't like the font.
Yeah,
I know that sounds like a weird thing not to like to be very critical about, but for some reason I didn't like the font. Like I don't know why, but it was hard to read, and this is a game that you have to read because it's in Japanese but with English text. Like the voice acting is in Japanese, so you have to read it. And for me, I just didn't like the font. Like I was looking at it, I was like, no, you be a better font, you bad font. And so I couldn't get into it. I tried, I really did. And maybe it's because I'm working on so many things right now that maybe I'm just a little bit more impatient than usual. So maybe that has a lot to do with it as well. But maybe I'll jump into it in the future.
Well, I think for you to have a better experience, I recommend that you watch the anime first. Maybe watch like 2 or 3 episodes of it because it's not like a retelling of the whole anime. Imagine like, you know how there's like a movie for an anime that's kind of like this non-canon thing that they do on the side? Mm-hmm. Then, okay, very similar to that. It's kind of based on, you know, like the first 2 or 3 episodes, and then it's like its own thing after that. It's like a separate villain. It's a different thing, but it's the same characters and stuff. And so I think watching the anime first would kind of give you like a nice setup and a nice way to understand, you know, all the lingo that comes up in the game, even though there is like a database where you can go and read up on all that stuff, but I'm sure most people will not want to do that. So, you know,
I'm one of those most people.
Yeah, so just watch a couple episodes and then play this game, and maybe you'll be more comfortable to playing it. I never saw the anime at all, and so but I played it and I understood everything just fine, and I was excited. Asive, you know, I was a fan. It was really, really cool, and you know, I appreciate it even more because visual novels, that's not a thing that I tend to play like every day, and so when I find one that, you know, that's cool, then yeah, I appreciate it all the more.
I think that's really nice. I don't play visual novels that often either, but nice ones are really nice. I tend to like the visual novels with ecchi. You know? I'm just letting you guys know, man.
Oh yeah, you know, hentai visual novels, of course, especially when they have animation in them and stuff.
Oh god, the best, just the best. They're just priceless. I mean, these are the visual novels that I prefer to play.
Yeah.
But you know, the conventional ones, they get a little attention every so often. You know, I mean. not putting that out there, but every so often I'll try. I think my sister saw the game and she was like, oh, and she knew the anime. But I was just like, yeah, okay, cool. I was like, I'm not having fun with this.
Yeah.
I was like, don't even smile at me about this and say, oh, it's so cool. I'm not having fun with this at all.
Yeah, well, I was, and that's going to be reflected in my review and my video review that I'm going to be making pretty soon. And then after that, what else did I do? Okay, so I kept playing more Picross 3D, I kept playing more Luminous, and now that Valkyrie Drive is coming up, while I was out of town for the weekend, I had my PlayStation TV and I started playing the Japanese version of Valkyrie Drive. So I have.
That's the thing, dude.
What?
No, you go on. I'll see my thing off.
So I have like 20 hours clocked into that game, and so I pretty much played through most of the campaign. I played as all the characters. I did the massage stuff from the dressing room. I tore the clothes off. I bought a bunch of panties. I just did the whole shebang, up and down, and I refreshed my memory, and I gave myself a makeup course, a refresher course on Valkyrie Drive and how it works and all that kind of stuff, just so that I could kind of solidify my thoughts whenever the English version comes in and I actually get to read the story in English. And it's because that's literally the only thing that's left. I have all of my opinions about the gameplay and the features and all that. They're solid and in stone, but it's just a story. I just want to know about the story. Because, if it's from the same people that make Senran Kagura, there's probably going to be more to it, there's probably going to be something deeper in there that I don't know about, so I definitely want to get into that.
I think it's going to be a plot similar to the anime, and if it's similar to the anime, the plot's not really that deep, but,
yeah.
Should make for an interesting, fun time, though. I mean, it's better to know the plot, even if it's not the best, than to not know the plot, because, then you're just, it's something to work with, I guess, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
So, I'm also interested in finding out about that game, especially I didn't play the Japanese version, so I'm like, oh, I super want to play it, because to me I was one of those people who's like, I can't play this in Japanese, mate. I just can't. I'll spoil it for myself. What if the publisher ever brings it over here? And then they did, and then I was like, oh, I was right to wait. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm super looking forward to what
I am looking forward to what people think about it, because I've heard, from some people that have played the Japanese version, they're like, oh yeah, this is cool, this cool, nice gameplay, and some people have dared to say that it possibly might be better than Senran Kagura, which I could not disagree more. I mean, I've been playing the game for a while now, and it is way slower than Senran Kagura. It is way more clunky than Senran Kagura. The frame rate is not as good. Visually, it looks awesome, but the enemies look really shitty. The environments are fucking shitty. Like, there's no detail or love put into anything that isn't the main characters that you're controlling, and like the way that the attacks happen are just weird and stiff. The fighting is just fucking weird and bad, and like the whole like phantom drive thing, like the thing that's replacing the aerial raves, basically, but where you launch an enemy into the air, and then you have to hold down a button, and then you have to time it just right to release it, and then you fly towards that person, and then you slash him up, and then you gotta do is hold it down and release it, hold it down and release it. And I'm like, why can't I just fucking press the circle button like in Senran Kagura and then just do it quickly? But because it's not Senran Kagura, it's way slower, way more deliberate, and much more frustrating, because the controls are so fucking bad in that holy shit. So, like, I don't know. Like, I am tempted to say that this is a bad game, but I know that it really isn't. It's just really, really lacking in a lot of places. You get used to the controls over time, but it's still, like, I'll go back to Senran Kagura, and it feels like fucking smooth butter, it's just not... It's really not that good. I feel like,
You're talking about Shinobi Versus, not Estival Versus, right?
I'm talking about both.
Okay, because I remember you had a problem with Estival Versus.
Oh yeah, I had a lot of problems, a shit ton of problems, a laundry list of problems with Estival Versus. But with Valkyrie Drive, I feel like I'm playing Senran Kagura Burst. I feel like I'm playing the beta version of something that should be way better in the future.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I have zero problems with the fan service. The girls, the design of the girls, the fact that I can give them massages and all that kind of stuff. All like the plot, quote unquote, all of that is great. I have zero problems with that. It's not until I actually start playing the game where I really wish they just copy pasted Senran Kagura, because at least there is like a game that functions and controls nicely.
Okay, well, I mean, we'll see when the game comes out what it's like. At least I haven't played, but you have, so I mean, I'm gonna have to take your word on it, and the listeners as well. And when it comes out, we'll know for ourselves what if your words match up with our experience of the game. But more like, it's probably gonna match up because I mean we do have similar takes on things like this. That being said, dude, there's something I do want to add in here. Now, a certain person from this podcast, a Varellery kind of person, happened to have moonlighted on another podcast.
Whistle. Oh, what are you? Oh, Q, I'm just here whistling in the corner, completely oblivious to what you're saying. What possibly could it be?
Well, I'll explain to the listeners. You see, listeners, we have a friend that we invited to the podcast. His name is Shades. He was on one of the episodes. I can't remember the episode number. It's one of the most recent ones. So go back and listen to all of them until you figure out which episode it is.
It's literally called A Very Shady Episode. So just find the one that says that.
No, Jorge, you want to tell them. Let them, if they don't know which episode it is, they should be forced to watch or to listen to all of them.
I already did. I already said it.
No, you have to edit it out. I mean, you can't leave that in there. What if they know and then they don't listen to all of them? You know what I mean? What if this is like a new listener and they're listening, they're like, oh well, no, I don't have to listen to all of them. I can just listen to that one.
So yeah, Shade showed up on the podcast and it was pretty great. And then
he was awesome. Oh, wait a minute, are you pushing along my story, mate? No, how dare you? He was awesome though, and so he invited us to pop onto his show. I was asleep. Jorge made it. Or something like that. I can't remember. Why didn't I make it? Was I asleep? Was I working? What was I doing?
So you said you had a headache and that you wanted to take a nap. And so we said that we were going to record the thing with Shades on Sunday, but we never planted down what time specifically. And so because I already know that Shades is like 2 days ahead of us or whatever. He's like 17 hours ahead of us in time. And so I woke up fairly early and I just, whatever time I was up, I talked to him on Skype and I said, hey, today's Sunday, when do you want to record, at what time? And so he said, oh, well, how about like in an hour from now? All right, cool, I'll get ready. And then I texted you and called you like a million times and then you never responded. So I'm like, all right, I guess I'm just doing it, with just me and Shades this time around, and then you can just show up on another episode. And then we did it, and it's up on the internet now.
Yeah, and it was all dirty and stuff like that, I mean, that's what happens when two blokes like you guys meet and do it, So it was dirty. It was awesome. I laughed at it. I actually was listening to that same night when we watched Kiki play on...
Oh, yeah, we were seeing... Kiki freaking playing The Last of Us drunk, yelling at everybody that's moved.
Yeah, exactly. And if you stopped commenting, she'd shout your name and curse and stuff, and then send you a Snapchat. So basically...
the one part, I was there for a while now. I was watching her stream ever since she told me to do it. We were there for hours, but then I really wanted to do two things: one, play Criminal Girls, and then two, sleep. And so I said, okay, I'm gonna play Criminal Girls until I fall asleep. But then she's there telling me, all right, come in. But then the one part where I said, yep, this is my cue to leave. This is the part where I can just slyly and silently go away. Is when Kiki's mom showed up on the stream and it's like, hi, mom. And it's like the mom is just very awkwardly like, hi, viewers. And then Kiki just blurts out, hey, do my viewers know that do you know that my mom is like a MILF? And then I'm like, okay, X. And then I left, grabbed my Vita, played Criminal Girls, fell asleep.
Oh man, I stayed in for a bit longer after you, and then after that I was just like, I just messaged her privately, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna leave so that you don't randomly start shouting my name anywhere, and it's like, I'm gonna leave in a bit, I gotta get some stuff done because I was still working on the I was still working on FIFA. I was still playing the game to get my opinion on the game. So I told her I gotta leave, and then after that, I just kind of just silently left after, nice and silent and stuff.
In my mind, it wasn't silent. She was like, "We need to get to 1,000 comments." And I'm like, "Don't care, X."
For me, it was silent. I was silently leaving and stuff. I just subtly got my butt out of there. I was like, you know what? I'll subtly just leave.
Fade into the bushes.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. You know how it is. But yeah. You moonlighted on another podcast, and we watched Kiki play a game drunk.
Yeah, I was watching that whole thing on my tiny laptop as I was out of town.
I was in bed actually on my laptop watching it, and actually the thing is that when she messaged to watch it, I was listening to you and Shades at that point in time actually. So I was listening to that cast, and then she messaged and asked us to pop in. And then when you said, "Hey, I'm gonna watch it," that's actually when I popped in, actually, because I think you were there by the time I got in. And then I was like, "Okay, fine. It will look bad if Jorge pops in and I don't." And so I popped in and I watched for a bit. I don't really. But the thing is, like, I think I've told Kiki this before. And I think I've told a lot of people. I don't like watching Let's Plays really. I don't really care to see people live stream. You know. That kind of stuff. I watch Let's Plays of like FIFA, but live streams, I don't really get into them, especially games that I'm not the biggest fan of. Like, I love Last of Us, but I don't like seeing other people play it. You know, if you know what I mean. It's done. I know the story, good, no problem. But I don't really care to see people play it all over again and just run around and scream and shout, and yeah, not my cup of tea. You know. So yeah, that's the thing. But yeah, anywho's it. Yeah. All the randomy stuff that we've been doing all over the place. We actually have a reason why we're doing this episode. We have a theme, isn't it?
Yeah, we absolutely do. Happy.
Damn it!
What?
This stupid thing only has like 3 colors.
No, that's what you were freaking out about. Your sketch.
Yeah, it only has like a couple colors, and it annoys me. But go on, I'm listening to you.
Damn it! What am I gonna do?
I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna figure it out.
Okay.
I'm figuring it out as I go along, but you continue, mate.
Well, I was going to say before I was rudely interrupted. Happy birthday to you, Senran Kagura. Happy birthday to you. Yes, sing it, chicken. Happy birthday, Senran Kagura. It is the 5th anniversary of...
Wait, he's still here?
I mean, I forgot to tell you, but he's kind of, sort of, maybe living with me now.
Oh my! Have you guys done anything interesting yet?
It's nothing sexual. If anything, she the freaking chicken is the one that sings all of the serenades whenever I have a girl here. Is like, "Oh Margaret, come here, drink some wine with me, and hear the dulcet tones of music." And I'm like, "Oh, beautiful, absolutely beautiful." Let us make love in front of the fireplace as he sings.
In front of the chicken, man.
As he sings video game songs. You have a piece of bread, sing, and we make love. And then everything explodes.
Exactly. I mean, that's what chickens do. I mean, you know, but I mean, I kind of was expecting that you guys had some raunchy stuff going on in the background. I mean, I'll call the chicken later and find out for sure. I mean, I know you may tell me untruths, so I'll confirm with the chicken if anything happened. Because I mean, what if you're just ashamed of the chicken? You know, you're ashamed of your relationship with it, and it's just like, you know, I don't want you to do the chicken in like that. I mean.
We talked about it, okay? It was amicable, it was consensual, it's fine, okay? We both agreed that we would see other people, give us some space, give us some time, and then maybe, if it works, we might have like a 3-way thing going on.
See other people and other chickens, I know what you mean, it's okay.
Yeah. Oh, look at that chicken leg. Oh, I just want to bite it and eat it.
Oh man, I reminds me that I have, that's on my bucket list. I have to shag someone and eat some kind of random shit while I'm like some kind of, not just random, it has to be some kind of fast food, like a burger or chicken.
A sexy burger.
A sexy burger. No. You know, of course, after I've completed that task, I'll send you a message and it will say achievement unlocked. You know, and you'll know why I sent it.
Yeah, the burger has been sexed.
I'll be like, yeah, it's been done, Jorge. The mission is over.
The job is done. What am I gonna do with my life now? Just shoot yourself in the head. We're done. There's no other reason to live.
Nothing else. I've given up on life.
Is it gonna be the ending to Metal Gear Solid 4?
Oh man, yeah, and then I'll fire myself like Kojima got fired from
Konami.
Konami.
Yeah,
And I'll just go and start a new company, and it will be making another sad story.
Yeah, create a YouTube channel where you just talk about movies.
Exactly, it'd be awesome.
Now, speaking of developers, Kenichiro Takaki, otherwise known as the Big Boob Producer. That's what he calls himself. He calls himself that.
Otherwise known as our hero.
Yes, our Lord and Savior, Daddy Takaki.
Daddy Takaki.
So, Daddy Takaki released a little game on 3DS in 2011 called Senran Kagura Skirting Shadows, which was just the Hanzo story of Senran Kagura Burst. Later on, he released Senran Kagura Burst, I think like a year later, which had the Hanzo story and the Heavy Joe story, back when Homura's Crimson Squad was not Homura Crimson Squad, and was a member, it was 5 members of the Heavy Joe, and they were very clear villains.
Mm-hmm.
Those fucking dogs. Those fucking dogs.
I know you didn't pay your extortion money this month. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, I know. I owe a lot of people a lot of money. It's becoming a big problem.
The dogs know that. You owe them first, though. I mean, you gotta pay the dogs first. I mean, they expect their money first.
Yeah, precisely. But then after Senran Kagura Burst, came out another game. I think it was a Shinobi Versus, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on, I actually have the page here for Senran Kagura. Actually, if you go to thebuttonsmashers.com, you will see that yours truly actually wrote an article about the 5th anniversary of Senran Kagura with a really beautiful piece of art. I really like the picture that they made for it. It's like Asuka, but in like watercolors, and it's just 5th anniversary since 2011.
Very shameless plug. It's
yeah,
very well
but one that actually fits in with what we're doing. So here we go. Here's the page. So 2011 was Senran Kagura Skirting Shadows, and then 2012 was Senran Kagura Burst, and then 2013 was Shinobi Versus on Vita. And then 2014 was Senran Kagura 2 Deep Crimson, also for 3DS, which introduced actual cutscenes, and it introduced 60 FPS, and introduced more than just 2 dimensions, because in Senran Kagura Burst, you can just go left and right, and you could go a little bit up or down, but not too much. It didn't really mean anything. But here, there were full-on like 3D levels where you could just go on 360-degree angles everywhere. And then on 2014 as well, came out Senran Kagura Bon Appetit on PS Vita, the rhythm game / cooking spin-off, which I don't think that's any good. Like, out of all of these games, I would put that on like my lowest on the list. But then in 2015, out came The Time of Summer. The sun started to shine, and an eternal beach came before us as Senran Kagura Estival Versus came in Japan.
Beautiful.
In Japan, and I was playing it in 2015. But then in 2016, it came out in North America in English, and also in Japan. The Sakura edition came out in Japan, which is the same, but with, some more added stuff into it, some more clothing or whatever. And good times were had by many. And at the very bottom of this page, it says, in just one tiny little sentence that pretty much rocked my world, that said... The girl's adventure will continue in 2017. There will be a brand new Senran Kagura game in 2017. And they made it look like it's going to be like a big deal. Because if it was like a fucking Bon Appetit spinoff, I don't think they'd mention it like that.
Yeah, I think if it was a Bon Appetit spinoff, they'd just be like, okay, well, we're working on something.
Yeah, I think it would have just come out,
Yeah, it would just... We just see something pop up,
yeah, without any fanfare.
Fingers crossed that. I think for me, wanting a new Senran Kagura, I kind of would be, I would be cool with Senran Kagura, what do you call it? If it's not like a main series Senran Kagura game, I'd be cool with the what's that version? The one with
so they're 2 different.
The phone version.
Oh, New Wave.
Yeah, I'd be cool with New Wave. I'd be cool with New Wave because I mean it has it has more characters and more shiggles. So I'd be cool with it. I'm curious about New Wave is, so I'll play that.
Yeah, so as far as I'm concerned, there are two different series. So there's the numbered series, which is on 3DS, which is Senran Kagura, Senran Kagura 2. And then there's the Versus series, which is Shinobi versus and Estival versus. And so, well, I think both series are really good on their own. But which one? I mean, now that you say that, I think you just answered your own question, which I'm about to ask. With which kind of sequel would you prefer to see? Would you rather see Senran Kagura 3, or would you rather see another Versus, like something Versus?
I would like to see this, or I'd like to see Versus, but here's something I'd actually really like to see. I would like to see a remake of the original Senran Kagura games, 1 and 2, in the style of Versus.
Okay.
I know you want that too, so I don't need to ask you.
I would like to see like a remastered, like more optimized version of Burst, but I am perfectly happy with Deep Crimson.
Because I don't see myself picking up my 3DS anytime soon, so yeah, that could be a thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited either way because it seems that the story for both of those worlds are kind of left incomplete. There's still more to do. There's still more to talk about. There's still more mysteries, especially in Senran Kagura in the mainline numbered series where they go more into detail about, like the Shinobi headquarters and, people following orders and what it means to be good and evil and, just kind of the stuff that it kind of just directly talks about what happened immediately after Homura and everybody else left Hebijo and started living in a cave. It just kind of showed more of them kind of purely trying to survive and trying to deal with the fact that they're renegades, rather in Shinobi versus an Estival versus it seems that they were all like fairly, well acquainted and comfortable and they were taking jobs and all that kind of stuff. So, Senran Kagura 2 was kind of like a nice transitional period that was shown there.
Okay, so it just basically explained what was going on and why if you quit your ninja duties, you will become a cave bomb.
You become a renegade, hunted by everybody, and you have to live in a cave.
Yeah, it's nonsense. I don't know why. But it's okay. I mean, I don't really I haven't really played the main series, so my experience with it is very limited. I would like to play it on Vita with Vita graphics. I can't see myself playing in the 3DS anytime soon. I mean, it's not that I can't see myself in the 3DS. I just don't play my 3DS much anymore. So I don't even think Senran Kagura would be the game to get me to pick up 3DS. I think the next game I pick up 3DS to play would be Harvest Moon or something.
Yeah. What if they port FIFA to 3DS?
You insane, mate. I wouldn't play that. It would be terrible.
Would you?
FIFA on 3DS.
Would you though?
It would run like shit. I just know it would. I've seen FIFA on 3DS and it runs like shit compared to like FIFA on Vita. And FIFA on Vita runs like shit compared to like console FIFA. So like you just imagine, mate. It's like no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, well,
I'm not putting myself through that.
That's a shame because I've been playing a ton of 3DS stuff actually. I've been playing through Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse. I've been playing through Dragon Quest 7. I've been playing some Taiko Drum Master, some Hatsune Miku, obviously some Senran Kagura 2, some Super Smash Brothers, some Dragon Ball Z, some One Piece. I have a lot. I have a lot on my backlog.
What is wrong with you, mate? Don't you have like things to be doing?
Yes, I absolutely have things to be doing, but when I have an entire weekend where I'm out of town and I want to spend it with my family or just kind of chillax with them, then I have all of these 3DS games that I want to play.
Wait. Here's the thing. Isn't Apocalypse the new
Yes, the
brand new
Shin
game?
The brand new Shin Megami Tensei 4.
When did you pick that up? You never told me you got that.
Yeah, I didn't, but I have it.
Oh man, you see, look at you. Just never tell me anything. You just keep everything to yourself and your chicken.
The both of us have a tight bond, unlike anything you have ever seen before. Have you seen Persona 4 with rank 10? Well, we're fucking rank 11.
Oh man, you and that chicken, mate. You guys. I'm jealous of you. The relationship you share with that chicken. One of these days, you're gonna come home, and the chicken's gonna be frying in a pan, and I'll just be standing there over the pan, and I'll be like, "It started it." I'd be like, he started
this is all your fault. You could have prevented this.
You could have stopped this.
Henry!
All you had to do was be better to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then the chicken's like, he's on his last breath. He's screaming in the pot, He's like, and you run into the room like, chicken!
He just sinks into a big giant bowl of boiling hot water. You can only see like his one leg do like a thumbs up.
And it's over. It's done.
Oh,
That's exactly what I'll say.
I'm so sad, but you're so delicious. I'm just
Eat the
there,
chicken
just
after.
bawling, crying, but then saying like, pass me the mayonnaise. I'm so sad, but you're so good. Somebody
You're
pass.
such a tasty bastard.
Somebody pass me the fucking salt.
Oh, here's the thing. Do you put mayo on your chicken?
I make sandwiches with chicken on them, and I put mayonnaise on that, but not really.
Okay, good. Because I mean, I can't have a sandwich without mayo, but I mean, if you were just taking chicken and just dipping it into like a bucket of mayo,
Yeah.
I'd be like, what
No.
the frack is going on with you, man?
No.
Are you insane? You know, you just dipping sandwiches into mayo. What's wrong with you?
No, I don't play that kind of game. I only put, I put mayo on my chicken because I put chicken on my sandwich, and that's it.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, if you just put, chicken into mayo, that would be weird and stuff.
Yeah, I guess so. I definitely don't doubt that there are some people that do that, but I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I love mayo, but on a sandwich, there are things you don't do, mate.
There are some things that are just against nature.
Exactly, it's just not natural.
It's not natural. That's not what God intended to have exist.
He intended for you to eat mayo the right way.
Yeah,
with a sandwich.
Gay marriage, that's okay. Equal rights for everybody, of course. Mayo on your chicken that is not on a sandwich? What an insult!
What an insult. Blasphemy, I say. Blasphemy.
Kill him.
Put him to the stake.
Yeah,
How dare he eat that?
Put him in a guillotine, chop him up into pieces, and then put mayo on him and see how he likes it.
Yeah, see how he likes it. Please, how dare you? The poor chicken died for you, and this is how you treat him.
This is how you thank him for everything he did for you.
Exactly. Chicken died for your stomach. That's what happened.
Henry died for your sins.
It died for your hunger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Genocide aside, we're gonna celebrate the 5-year anniversary of our favorite series, our favorite piece of ecchi in the world, Senran Kagura, by making another list. We actually have 10 of our favorite moments from anything that's Senran Kagura related. It could be the games, it could be, the anime series, it could be the manga, it could be a figurine that you saw, and you say, hey, the boobs are squishable. It could be a body pillow, anything that is related to Senran Kagura that was memorable and that you liked a lot. It counts, is fair game. This is all in the sense, how do you say it? With the attitude of celebration and happiness, and tits her life as his hometown for everybody, now and forever. Amen.
I like that a lot. The thing is, now that you mention like the whole figurines and stuff, you make me think of a figurine that I wanted, a Senran Kagura figurine that a previous editor on the team had, where it had squishable boobs, and I was like, oh yeah, I want that. Never got it though. Had other things that I got instead, but it's on my to-get list someday. I will have it. It was an Asuka's figurine, actually. Asuka and her squishable boobs. She could put like a thing in between her boobs, a scroll.
Yep.
And it was awesome, and I liked it a lot. I was like, yes, definitely. So, it was a thing. So here's the thing.
Yeah.
Let's start with our list. Let's just jump directly into it because, we'll get distracted and stuff.
Yeah, we absolutely will. Talking about chicken genocide.
Chicken
so, who wants... Okay, so I was going to ask who wants to go first, but then who... In the last list that we did, who went first?
I can't remember that. You're asking me, dude. I forget the things that we do like a day ago. You're asking me the last list, so you'd say to me.
Okay, then. Well, I have a coin here. What do you say we flip it?
I say we go for it.
Okay, I have 1 peso, 1 Mexican peso, and so one of them has an eagle eating a snake, and then the other one has a number 1. And so you're the eagle biting the snake, and I'm number 1. All right.
Oh, okay.
Just in general, number 1.
Yeah. Now here I was feeling nice that I was the eagle. No, I'm like, so that's what he wanted.
Oh, now I remember what I was...
You tricked me.
Now I remember what I was going to say in the intro. I was literally just going to I was just gonna shout, Eagle! Eagle! Bird, bird! Bird, 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 bird.
Oh my god! If you guys don't know what he's talking about, we did an episode where we talked about that, and then also, was that an episode or were we just joking about it? I can't remember.
We were joking about it in an episode. We were. I don't know why. I don't know how we got there, but we were just imagining an eagle that didn't go. It just went eagle.
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 And then how he did the video on his YouTube channel where he
No, it was
just did a bunch of other animals.
It was my brother's YouTube channel. He made a video.
Wait, mate. When I saw that video, I didn't click to go to the link. I just played it on YouTube. I mean on Facebook, right? Because you shared it to me on Facebook, and so I thought it was you.
No.
Your brother stole our idea? How dare he?
No, if you go to YouTube, you'll see that it's on the Senior Pac-Man channel. And he made a very ingenious video about, what if animals said their names like in Pokemon? And so the dog was like, dog, dog! So
is he a fan of our podcast, mate? Like,
he said he listened to it once, but he's not like super faithfully following it.
Just tell him when I visit, we'll have beans, mate. I'm just saying.
Yeah, is he gonna join the chicken? Is he gonna join the chicken in the pot of boiling hot water?
Well, I don't like the taste of human, so he's lucky. He's lucky.
Put some ragu sauce in there, and that'll be nice.
It'll just fix him right up, He'll just be perfect.
Yeah. It just brings the whole flavor together.
Ecchicast, the cannibal podcast. We talk about eating each other.
I mean, we do love skin.
I can't even consider that one.
I do love seeing a lot of skin.
Oh, look, we all love skin, but
I'm just gonna flip this coin now.
You go for it, go.
Okay. Okay, it fell behind me. Let's see. Oh, we got the eagle. I
like it.
And so that means that you go first.
Okay, so I gotta go first. So here's the thing, right? Now my list is saved on my my what do you call this thing on Android? Android has this thing that I use all the time called Google Keep. Love that thing, and so it's saved on my Google Keep, but I had it on my desktop pulled up. But what happened, because I'm sketching something, I can't click the sketch away. I don't know why, it just doesn't let me do it. Anyway, my list is in no particular order except for my number one. My number one, whichever one makes it down to the number one for me, is number one. The rest is just like random. All right, so the first one is something I kind of referred to in Jorge and I before we started, and that is related to P-Cube, the publisher who's doing Valkyrie Drive, and the ad that they had go up for Senran Kagura Burst in the EU. There's this ad. If you just Google search Senran Kagura Burst EU Tele ad, you'll find an ad on P-Cube Japan's YouTube channel, I think, and this ad, it basically starts with this guy. He's just sort of like in a store, right? And he's just like, he's whispering to the guy, "Just can I get a Senran Kagura Burst?" And the guy's like, "What did you say?" "Can I get a Senran Kagura Burst?" And he's like, "Speak up, I can't hear you." And he's like, "Can I get a Senran Kagura Burst?" And then everyone in the store's like, "Huh?" And they look around at him, and then it's just like then there's like Senran Kagura, it's a little bit and a little bit or some kind of thing. It's so hilarious. And there's like a series of ads like that. There's one where there's a bloke playing it in the bushes, because he doesn't want his friends to see him playing that smart. And there's the one where a mom or girlfriend or something finds the game on this guy's bed, and she's like, "How could you?" And she tosses him out, and he's out in the, she kicks him out of the house, and he's playing Senran Kagura, in the street or whatever have you. Hilarious ads, and they really got me, really into Senran Kagura at the time. I was like, oh yeah, loving that, So yeah, that's my number 5. Is it 5? Where are we? We're in 10.
Yeah. I mean, technically it's 10. You have 5. I have 5.
Okay, so it's my number 5. Let's see yours. Let's go with it.
Okay, so my number 5 was from the very first time I ever played Senran Kagura, which was Senran Kagura. Actually, no, I am mistaken. The very first Senran Kagura game I played was Bon Appetit, and that was a mistake. But technically, like the real Senran Kagura game that I played that wasn't a spinoff was Senran Kagura Shinobi Versus on Vita. Mm-hmm. And so I initially was kind of a little bit close-minded towards it because I knew that it was going to be very fan service-y, and I was kind of like At the time,
you hadn't accepted your inner pervert yet.
Yeah, I had not accepted my inner pervert yet. I was not ready to become the pervert that I was always born to be. And, you know, I was recording my Let's Play for it at the time as well, so I kind of wanted to save face, and I was like, oh, you know, this fanservice-y thing, you know, oh, obviously this character is this, and this character is obviously gonna do that. You know, I was just there kind of like assuming and pointing out all of these, like, character traits and all that kind of stuff, just being very, like, uppity and high and mighty about, oh, you know, this is clearly this, you're making a lot of assumptions, just like...
The prophecy said he would judge it.
Yeah, like everybody else on the fucking internet, I just tried to make myself, like, look all superior in comparison just because I made fun of the game, right? And so, I was talking about, like, the frame rate and the shadows and all that kind of stuff, and, you know, even though that still holds up, the PC version kind of fixes it a little bit, but the thing that I'm getting at is that one of my favorite moments was the very first time I ripped off one of the girls' clothing.
And he was just like, oh, yes.
I mean, that's kind of when I realized what I was dealing with, because I just when I saw, like, when I did a finisher and the bra and the panties just completely exploded, that's when I realized what I was dealing with here. I would, like, just it just fucking, like, just explodes out of their bodies, and I just busted out laughing, and you can tell because it's recorded, it's on the internet, you can see that, or I'm just seeing this happen, and I'm like, okay, this game, in terms of ecchi and action and all that kind of stuff, in terms of the gameplay, it doesn't take itself seriously at all. It's very lighthearted in that aspect, even though there are a lot of story bits that get kind of serious. And I'm like, yep, okay, I think I'm gonna have a good time. You know, like, they don't take it seriously at all. They have fun with it. It's super exaggerated. I think this is the kind of thing that I'm gonna like. You know, this is that kind of like an explosive impression that I had on me. That kind of set the tone for the rest of my experience going forward. And so that's kind of memorable. The very first time I made clothing explode. And I can't remember.
First time you bust.
I can't remember who it was with. I think I was fighting. I think I was Katsuragi and I was fighting Ikaraga. No idea.
I think my first bust in Senran Kagura, where you know I had a character pop out of their clothes, was it would have had to be Nasuka, because I think I started with her, and then I was like, yeah, because I mean I wanted Hibari. But I think I started playing the game with Asuka for some reason. I can't remember why.
Well, I mean, a lot of the story missions, they gotta force you to play with certain characters.
Yeah. But then eventually when I got to play Hibari, that's who I picked. And then I realized I didn't like her combo set that much. I liked Hibari, but then I was like, God, she moves like a 5-year-old. And I was like, no, I liked you. I liked your character art. You know, too bad. I still like Hibari, though. She's adorable.
Yeah. So there we go. That's my number 5. The very first clothes ripping that I ever had.
Okay. All right. Let me just finish this guy's hair for a sec here. Let me just get to the top.
This guy's hair.
Yeah, let me just get it nice. And I have to get it perfect, man. I mean, if I don't get it perfect, it's going to suck.
Let me get this handsome devil's hair in check.
He is a handsome devil, if I do say so myself. Okay, so let's see.
Sorry, something went off on my phone. It has some Korean music coming out of nowhere. Don't mind me. I'm just me looking at my Instagram. I totally don't have, like, dancing Korean ladies on my feed or anything.
You know, when I was on my Instagram, I was just looking at you know, like nice booty. When I popped on to upload the picture, I was like, oh yeah, look at that booty. Anyway, but I didn't say anything. But you guys felt it. I know you did. You felt it through the podcast. Like, you were just like, oh. The minute he opened Instagram, there was booty.
You felt a disturbance in the force.
Yeah, it was just like they felt it instantly. They're just like, you knew it was there. You were like, he is looking at booty. He just is, you know, because it's cute and we understand. We'll look at booty too. So the thing is that my number 4 is figuring out that Hibari was a cheat for the infinite butt bounce thing that she does. Her combo, her attack that she can infinitely just bounce and stuff. So for me, when I started Senran Kagura, I first in the reverses, I really liked Hibari because Hibari was cute and adorable, and plus I like her outfit a lot. You know, I always put the other girls in Hibari's outfit. It's kind of one of my favorite outfits in the game.
Yeah.
And so what I did was there's a stage where you have to. I think I was fighting Mirai or something, and I realized for some reason it was either Mirai or what's that chick with the robot on her shoulder?
Haruka.
Haruka. It was either one of the two. And I basically just kept bouncing. Like, I figured it out by accident, actually. I think I was trying to do something. I was trying to play technical, really smart and stuff like that. And somehow I realized, wait a minute, I could just keep doing this over and over and over. And I just did, and I just won the fight because I think she was beating me. Whoever I was fighting. And I was like, oh, so I could just play cheaply and win this. And I did, and I won. So, I think that's my my number 4 was, figuring out how cheap Hibari can be and just enjoy myself with her. I mean, she's such an amazing character, and she's adorable. I still think her combos could be a bit better, but she's alright. She's awesome, and she's adorable. Adorableness wins. So
I figured out the whole infinite butt bounce thing when I wanted to really get that achievement, that trophy for like your combo has to go up to 7,777. So I'm like, how the fuck do I do that? Like I can barely get to like 1,000, and so that's when I realized, oh, Hibari just keeps bouncing and bouncing, and there's nothing stopping her. So I went to this like particularly difficult level where there were like 1 million people, and so I just kept running around in circles so that they all got bunched up into like this big ball of mass, and then I just did the butt bounce, and I just kept going until the combo was 7,777, and I got that trophy.
I think I was in some stage where there was like a lot of characters. I think the characters just kept respawning or some kind of thing like that. And I got it. I think it was somewhere in the forest. I think it was in some forest, and I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm just keep doing this. But for me, I knew Hibari was the one to pick by the time I started, hunting achievements in Senran Kagura. I think I got an achievement by accident though. Now that I think about it, I think I got it by accident. Like I just started doing it, and I was just looking at it, and I was like, oh, this keeps going up. Okay, let's see how far we can get this to go. I think that's what happened. But anyway, that is my number 4. What's your number 4? Let's hear it.
My number 4 is Hikage-chan Peace. And so
what the fuck is that?
So if you guys remember in Shinobi Versus, or at least if you know Hikage in general, she is more colloquially known on the internet as the best snake. You know how there's best girl, or there's best snake, SNEK. That's how it's spelled, snack. And so best snack is Hikage, the non-feeling, knife-throwing girl of the series. She's a lot of people's favorite, and I like her too. She's a big source of comedy. I love listening to her voice. The dulcet tones of her voice are unlike anything else. And of course, in Shinobi Versus, she is a goddamn beast. She has infinite dashing, and she's incredibly fast and really powerful.
She's only second to their teacher. What's her name again?
Rin.
Rin.
Yeah.
When I found out Rin was the fastest, I was like, oh no. I was like, who the frack is Rin?
She doesn't even like dash. She fucking teleports. That's how fast she goes.
Yeah, exactly. When they, because in the game when you get Shinobi Versus, they actually have like these sort of like help guide things that pop up while you're playing the game, and one just kept saying Rin is the fastest character or some kind of shit like that. I was like, who the frack is Rin? And because it was my first time exposed to Senran Kagura, so I didn't know who she was. And then I found out she was DLC, and I was like, oh well, I have to buy this now because I need to know. And I bought the DLC. So yeah. So but continue.
I love Hikage. She's really cool. I like how, I mean, she can be kind of a complete fucking dumbass at times, but for the most part, she's alright. And so, because her being part of the Crimson Squad, she also hangs out with, excuse me, big burp there. She hangs out with Haruka a lot. And so Haruka is kind of a scientist in the sense that she likes to make experiments and, mix around a bunch of, potions and vials and all that kind of stuff. And so then Haruka's like, oh, here, Hikage, try this thing for whatever the fuck reason. I forget why. But, Hikage drinks it. That totally gives her, like, emotions, but, like, way too many emotions, way too strongly. And so her voice completely kind of changes to, like, a more active thing, She begins like, oh, hey, how you doing? Very monotone, very, like, bored sounding all the time. But now, like, she drinks that, and she goes over to Katsuragi and is like, hey, baby doll, how you doing? And like, oh, Katsuragi-chan, genki desu ka-chan. Just keeps going like that, super, like, she sounds so fucking weird and all that kind of stuff. And so one thing that I remember her saying that really made me laugh out loud, again, this is recorded on my Shinobi vs. Let's Play, but she goes, Hikage-chan piss! Just like, Peace, yeah, sure, peace sign. And then, Katsuragi is like, oh, wow, the tension is really wrapping up here. She doesn't get it. She's like, what are you doing? And so that's when they have a fight, and she's like, well, I'm gonna knock some sense into you. And then after Katsuragi beats her up, and that's when she goes back to normal. Very short-lived, but I love that tiny little change in Hikage. It was one of the funniest scenes, in my opinion, and I really like that part a lot, because I like Hikage, and it's just weird seeing her in that state. Hashtag Hikage-chan peace.
Okay, I am gonna have to... I played that, I'm guessing, because I platinumed Senran Kagura-related Visas, but I can't remember it. So I'm gonna have to play it again and remember it, because yeah, that's the thing. Okay, so that is... Now I want to see it, and I'm gonna have to watch your video, mate. Either that or I play with Shinobi Versus a bit more. You're gonna have to send me a link to that video where she says that.
Yep.
After the
show.
Title
of my video is literally called that. It's literally called Hikage-chan peace.
You send it to me now. You send it to me. Well, after the podcast. Anyway, let's see. My number 3. Jump into number 3. I keep every time I unlock my phone, I keep finding myself back on Instagram, because that's where the last thing I'm on. I'm seeing completing Senran Kagura-related Visas for the first time. That's my number 3, and I guess the reason why I put that one down was because Shinobi Versus is a pretty passive game to complete if you're not playing on the hardest difficulties.
Yeah, but, it's pretty easy.
But the thing is that there's like a huge difficulty spike at the end of the game. Like, you get to the end, and the last fights that you get into get super hard.
Basically, all of the final bosses for all of the stories are pretty hard.
Yeah, they're just difficult, especially when you fight, when you complete the stories and you get to fight...
Yeah, so like the final battle where you fight against...
The final battle.
Yeah, and you can choose between Asuka or Homura, and then you fight, the other person. If you choose Asuka, you fight Homura, and if you choose Homura, you fight Asuka.
And that is freaking difficult as hell. And, I did it. I completed it and all that kind of stuff, but damn... That's like one of those things where you play a game and you're like, oh, achievement unlocked, I'm never doing this again.
Yeah, also the DLC ones are pretty difficult. Rin fighting Daidoji and Daidoji fighting Rin, those are really difficult. Especially the Daidoji one, because Rin is super fast.
Yep, exactly.
And Daidoji is super slow.
I can attest to that one. Daidoji and Rin are they're good characters, but the thing with Daidoji fighting Rin is that Daidoji is fast, right? I'm sorry, Rin is super fast and Daidoji is slow, but the problem with Daidoji is even if you play as Rin, Daidoji is like a beast. Like every attack will take away most of your health.
A living, moving, like steel shield. Like she will stop you. Like she doesn't give a fuck how fast you are. She just has to lift up one of her hands and just stops you.
And she literally stops you mid-combo to hit you with her combo, which drains, like, a lot of your life.
Yeah, so. And then she punches and a giant lion comes out of her hand.
She's a beast. Like, you do not want to fight her, like, literally.
Yeah, there's only 2 things that I know about Daidoji. One is that she's based off of a JoJo character, and then second is that you don't fuck with Daidoji.
I think I learned the first one first. I learned that you don't fuck with Daidoji at all. She's a beast. She is the beast character in Senran Kagura, and if anyone else tells you different, just let them play against Daidoji with a normal character and see what the hell happens to them.
They're gonna learn today.
They're gonna learn the hard way. So that's my number 3, was completing Shinobi Versus. I really enjoyed that game. I guess I can put in there platinum in it too as well, because it was the first game I platinumed, and I was so proud of it. I was like, yeah, well, look at that. I platinumed the game. Because when I realized I was so close to the platinum, I was like, wait a minute. I have all the other trophies. I just need one more. I was like, well, you know what I'm going to be doing. And I'm sort of that kind of guy. Like, in RPGs, I'm, like, grinding to get everything and all that kind of stuff. So, like, when I realize I'm close to completing something, like an achievement thing, I'm like, oh, I have to get this. Normally I don't go after achievements and trophies and stuff like that. But that was the time I was like, you know what? I'm so close, I might as well get it. And I did.
Yeah, and, I platinum Shinobi Versus as well, and I platinum Bon Appetit too.
I have to platinum Festival versus. I have like one more trophy to get, and for some reason I can't get it. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, me.
And I don't want to look it up.
Yeah, I have the same problem. I think I remember like in episode 1 of this fucking podcast, you asked me the same question. Hey, how do you do it the platinum Festival versus? And then I said, well, you gotta buy everything into the shop. But I bought everything. Then you gotta unlock something else. What is it? I don't know. And we have still yet to do it.
We still have yet to do it. We don't know what it is. It's just I haven't picked it up in a while. I will be honest about that part. I haven't picked it up in a while. I've been playing other games for review, but oh man, every time I see it on my Vita menu screen, I'm like, you and we have a meeting. We have a fated meeting. You.
Yeah, I have not taken out Estival Versus off of my PS4. I have it on a disc, and I put it in, and it has not come out, not even once. The last time I put something else on there was a Fallout 4, but then Senran Kagura came in and it never went out.
There's certain games that just remain in there in your consoles. Like for me on the 3DS, even though I mentioned before I don't really play my 3DS anymore. The Will Institute's always in my 3DS. Like I am not putting anything else inside it. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, if I get stuck on a desert island, that's the game I want with me. So like yeah.
I have Super Smash Brothers on my 3DS, and then on my DS Lite I have Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, I just hope you know that Neku hates you right now.
Nah, it doesn't matter. He look, all the world needs is him. He has his values, so I can keep mine, alright? I don't get people. Never have, never will.
Hey, how dare you quote Neku to me? How dare you?
Square Enix presents The World Is With You.
That's literally how the game starts. That's literally exactly the intro there. Oh man, it's epic. It's an epic game. If you haven't played the Will, you go play it now. Like, pause this podcast, go play it, and then come back and listen to it. That's the thing. But while you go play it, Jorge, what's your number 3?
So my number 3 is also completion related.
Oh.
It's not about completing Shinobi Versus or Bon Appetit or platinuming anything. It's actually, when I was playing Senran Kagura 2 Deep Crimson, there is a mode in that game called the Yoma's Nest. And so in the Yoma's Nest is like this big pyramid full of panels. And so every single little like panel on the pyramid is a round, like a stage. And so you choose one. I mean, well, first of all, you can set up your character, right? You can choose either one character or you can use 2 characters, and you can just switch from one to the other whenever you want. And you can change your outfits, you can customize your weapons, and you have something called Shinobi Gems, where you can like change your stats and all that kind of stuff. It's really fun, it's cool and customizable. And so then you go into the Yoma's Nest, and you can use all that to your advantage to be able to fight.
Oh, so it's kind of like some kind of RPG mechanic with the built into the game, basically.
Yeah, you can just do that in general, but this is kind of like a survival mode where you can just keep fighting, and so you can get as far as you can. There is an end to it. It's not infinite. You can definitely finish it, but like at the very bottom of the pyramid, the entire row is just bosses. Just all of the bosses from the game are there, and so you have to fight. From the very top of the pyramid, where it's just very simple, easy to kill enemies. You beat them in like 5 seconds. But the lower you keep going into the pyramid, and depending on what path you're taking, because you can only choose one panel at a time, you get different enemies, and they're all way more powerful than the next. And there are moments where you're doing really good, and then like the one like ghost character comes in and like fucking hits you 3 times, and you're dead. And so it's like, fuck, just going there like, god damn it. And so you get like maybe like 1/3 of the experience points that you could have gotten, because you're allowed to stop. One thing that you can do is that after you can keep playing and playing and playing, but then you can decide when to stop. And then whatever experience points you get out of that, you get it, and you don't lose anything. But if you keep going and you die, they like chop it down to like less than half, and like you don't even level up. Like it sucks.
So it's a risk reward sort of system.
Yeah, it's a risk reward, like fucking Dark Souls with Senran Kagura. And so
that's what I was thinking when you were describing it. I was like, I wonder if it's like Dark Souls with Senran Kagura.
Yeah, and so one day I had Ikaruga and Katsuragi both leveled up and maxed out. And so, and also, like, their bond with each other were maxed out to the highest level as well. So, like, any team attacks that they do will be, like, maximum damage. And so I went in there, I put in my shinobi stones, I freaking, did everything that I wanted to do, and I went in there from the very top all the way to the very bottom. And I completed it.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Yeah, but but now it's the other way around. Started from the top and now we're here. And so I did a complete full run from the very top all the way to the bottom, I did all of the boss. I did the one boss that I got to, but then after that, I said, okay, that was my one run. I completed all of it without dying, but that is just one path that you take. Like, there's still, like, other, like, surrounding panels that you can choose from. And so I said, well, let's do it again, but now let's take a different path. And I did it. I beat all of the bosses, I beat all of the enemies, I did all of the panels, and I pretty much leveled up an enormous amount of my characters by doing all that. And I built up all of my relationships by doing that until eventually I killed everybody and everything. There was nothing left.
You were just like, I am, what's the word?
I am the master.
I'm triumphant.
Yeah, I felt really good after that. That was... It was really tough, really, really tough, but I did it, and I completed it, and I feel great, and, yeah. That's
that's the thing, you were saying?
Oh, no, that's my number 3 moment. I remember that fondly, because it was tough, and I did it.
What I was gonna say is that's the thing that that older games have a lot of that we don't get a lot these days, and I'm not saying that I want a lot of that anymore, but I mean back then you beat a game, when you finished you were like, I beat that game. Now you're just like, oh, I completed, I got all the achievements made. But back then it wasn't complete, it was beat. You had to beat the game because the game would beat you. And so yeah, I like that. It sounds like a lot of fun. I will not be doing that.
Great. Awesome.
I'll vicariously live through your experience of it. I'll be like, if someone asks me about it, I'll be like, oh yeah, I know of that. Jorge beat it. And it's technically like I beat it too, because I mean we're friends and we podcast together, so like by extension I beat it, so it's pretty much what I'll tell them. I'll be like, I beat it by extension. And
fantastic.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah, so there you go. My number 3 is completing the Yoma's Nest. One time, just in one full run without dying, and then the next one and just taking care of the rest.
I love it. All right, so we're number 2, right?
Yeah.
Let's see here. Let me grab my number 2 while I swipe off this picture on Instagram here that I'm using. All right. Let's see here. It's about to load. Okay, finding out Asuka's grandfather is lived P-life like the rest of us. I mean, oh man, when I found out he was a perv, I mean, you find out pretty early in Senran Kagura, mate, but I mean, when I really found out, like, was when they went to visit him, and he gave them those sort of something maki rolls or whatever he calls it. What does he call the things he gave them to eat? The sort of sushi looking thing with the
Futomaki.
Futomaki rolls, that's the thing he gave them. The freaking penis rolls, that's what I call them. And that squirts like white stuff all over them when they eat it. I was like, oh, look at you old pervert guy. You have my respect.
Yeah, and then they freaking built him up to be like, oh, he's one of the strongest shinobi in the world. He's a legend. They named the school after him, Hanzo National Academy. He's like the Yoda of this world. And then he's like, oh, I'm watching them in the shower or whatever.
And his wife is like, was a hot woman, and now she's an old lady, and he still peeps on young girls,
Sayuri.
Even his own granddaughter, he's telling her to do things like scrub her back in the, in front of the window with it open and stuff. I'm sure he told her that so he could pass and look at her.
No, I'm sure, yeah.
He's disgusting, but I love him anyway.
You can see Hanzo actually being a fucking badass in Senran Kagura 2. There's a scene where the villain Dogen faces off against Hanzo, and of course there's no like action scene or whatever. It's like a story segment that has like text and stuff and has pictures, but like the way that they describe it is like, oh, so cool. He's a pervert, but he's so cool.
That's the thing with Senran Kagura, though. It's so vivid in the way they describe certain things that even if you don't see some characters or whatever have you, you can really get a feel of what they are like, with, just based on the descriptive.
Yeah, you can imagine it.
Yeah, exactly, and I like that. I like the fact that the descriptiveness of the game is so good. I wonder if this skin tone works. Should I try this
You
one
just
instead?
immediately go to the sketching.
yeah, I'm just like, I'm trying out different brushes and stuff and colors. I'm trying to get this perfect, mate. So yeah, this is actually coming out a lot better than I thought it would come out. So like, I am actually really liking this. Like, I was expecting it to come out like total crap, and I mean, it's not as good as like something Raven would do, but
I'm gonna frame this and put it on my wall, right next to the toilet. So whenever I can always remember what truly matters in life.
Man, I'm not putting that next to my loo. The loo is a sacred place, mate. You don't do these things. So just saying. It's a very sacred place. It's like church to me.
I mean, I know a lot of people that have like crosses on their bathrooms.
No, I don't want that. I don't want that inside there. I want my loo needs a telly in there. That's the one thing I haven't gotten for my loo that I really, really want. I want a telly inside there that I can just go in there and sit down and watch telly and like football games and stuff, and
like a full 45-minute football time, and just you sitting there in the toilet.
Bro, I spend more time like that sitting on the loo, just on my phone or reading something. I'll take a book in there and sit there for like hours. I kid you not. I've taken my laptop in there from time to time to write articles and stuff. I'd be like, I need to get this article done. I need to go to the loo, and I just go in there and sit down and finish the article.
Oh God!
I think some of the reviews on the side were written on the loo. Ooh. Just so you know, a lot of them. But I love my loo, man. I mean, it's kind of like it's like a safe place to me. It feels nice and comfortable. I know a lot of blokes who also like their loos as well. They call it the troon. So yeah, different people call it different things, but I love mine. I would just curl up on the floor and hug it if I could.
Ew.
But oh my God, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is the egg rice bowl story. It's everything that has to do with Miyabi's mom in Estival Versus.
Oh, yeah, that's a nice one.
So I like this moment because this one just kind of proves 100% that, Senran Kagura is more than just the boobs and the fan service, even though that's the thing that we give the most preference to. Whenever you get down and dirty with a story, there are a lot of serious moments in the anime. There's a lot of backstory. There's a lot of, internal monologue. There's a lot of questions being asked that are not necessarily answered and are kind of left to just kind of interpretation or, just asking the audience, hey, what do you think about this? Or just let this kind of sit. And so the main theme of Estival Versus was kind of loss and how do you deal with it and how do you move on from that. And so because all of the girls, the huge majority of the girls in Senran Kagura, they have lost at least one or two people, and most of them have lost their parents. Some of them haven't lost their parents, but they have lost something else, like Yagyu lost her sister. Like Ikara got pretty much lost the respect of his adoptive brother. Asuka, she has like her huge...
Did you just call Ikaruga his?
Her adoptive brother? Yeah, I don't know. I get his and her confused all the fucking time. But
it's okay.
Who else? Okay, well, Miyabi lost her mom in a very terrible, terrible way. That thank God that they don't show it, on screen and they just describe it. Although I think that might be worse because then your imagination always ends up being worse than what they actually show, right? But, when they're in Estival Versus, they're in this island to do, like, the Kagura Millennium Festival or whatever the hell. All of these people are coming back from the dead. These are all shinobi that still have, like, some unfinished business to take care of or whatever. Or they didn't leave happy or whatever. And so, in those moments, Miyabi meet ups with her mom. And so that's, you have like the soft piano music, and because it's particularly powerful with Miyabi because the entire time you see her, she's like this super like tough and hard ass lady of like, power and pride, and I'm not gonna, back down from a challenge here, be prepared, prepare yourself. She has this big like demon sword or whatever. And then to see her all super vulnerable and be like, oh, mommy, I missed you, and then like hug, and it's like, oh, come on, let's make that egg rice bowl that you love, eating. Oh, yeah, okay, let's do it. Come on, teach me how to do it. Let's do it together. And you're like cooking together, and she memorizes how to do it, and then after Miyabi's mom teaches Miyabi how to make it, it's like, oh, well, with that dish, you'll always remember me. I'm going to heaven now. Bye. And then, Miyabi just tries to, like, hold in, the tears and, like, oh, that's fine. Yeah, sure, go. I'm happy, you're happy, whatever. And the moment she leaves, she just goes, ah! She just completely balls, and that part was cool. Like that one actually got me a little emotional. Like that.
I think I teared up during that actual section, and it is one of my favorite sections from Estival Vistas.
Yeah, me too. It's one of my favorite. I think the only one that comes close to that is all of that with Ryobi and Riona and Ryoki, like that relationship between the three, which is pretty much is very similar as well.
And it's also the main plot of this particular game. So
yeah, that's the main story. And so yeah, I got really emotional with that. But then like that is just completely factoring out the fact that this is a game where you have like 200 people and you completely destroy them with your sword, and then like boobs are ripping out all over the place, and they're all naked in the beach, and like their fucking clothing explodes, and you have like a t-shirt with like one button on it, and the button explodes and comes out, like just all of this wackiness surrounding all of it. And then you're capable of having these really powerful, cool moments, and with that you understand why Miyabi feels all good and powerful, and you know, because at the beginning, before all of that, Miyabi and everybody from Heavy Joe just like consistently lost against everybody. And then
they also, the next thing too is that with the Happy Joe girls, they really sell you on them being like villains in the game. So you have this sort of detachment from them to a certain extent, at least at first, and then when you get this sort of human side to them, it makes you really emote to them more, and you're seeing them less as villains and just more as flawed people.
Yeah, well, I mean, it makes you ask the question, like, are they villains? Like, are they actually evil as they say they are? Because I don't see any evil out of them. I just see, like, misguidedness and, like, just a lot of pride in what they do, but not necessarily evil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it really humanizes Miyabi and everybody from Heavy Joe as well. You know, like by the end of the story, I was rooting more for Heavy Joe and, you know, Ryobi, Riona, and Miyabi for all of that stuff to be okay, and for them, you know, I was happy whenever they would actually win a fight, because they would always lose before that. And then after all of their shit was settled, it was like, yeah, now we're gonna kick some ass. And fantastic.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so like everybody on Hanzo and Crimson Squad, they were all kind of like off on the side. They were like side characters in that game. It was more like Gessen and Heavy Joe that were the focus.
True.
And so yeah, that is one of my favorite moments, because every single time people say, "Oh, look at this like weird anime bullshit porn simulator," and I'm like, "Oh, let me present to you like that picture of Will Smith presenting something. Like here it is, the story, the egg rice bowl story of Miyabi's mom segment."
I love it. I agree. It's an amazing moment in the game, and I think most people who play it should experience that moment. I think it's a moment that if you experience it, you'll gain a certain percentage of appreciation for the game a bit more.
Yeah.
You know, at least as if you're like us. If you're not like us, then you won't care.
Then fuck you.
You don't. Yeah, exactly. Basically.
You close-minded son of a bitch, we'll get you. I'm gonna send my dead chicken and throw it to your face. Have him sing
covered in mayo.
With mayo, covered in mayo. Have him sing a song from beyond the grave.
Yeah, exactly.
Just an ooh, but a chicken ooh.
Let's see. We have number one, and this one is number one for a reason, right? As I said, this is the one that I really that is number one, and like I said, the others aren't in any particular order, but this one is the number one. Do you want to guess what it is?
That moment when Yozakura existing in general.
No, Yozakura doesn't make it into any of my top 10s. This is it's related to us actually. It's the time when we bonded over Senran Kagura that first night. After that, you know, we were on a call chatting with the rest of the team from the Button Smashers, and you ended up staying back on the call after that because I left to do something, and then I came back and you were the only one there, and we stayed up chatting about stuff, and we ended up bonding over Senran Kagura about our love for such games, and
the podcast did not exist at the time.
And actually, that's the next thing, is that we decided to do the podcast based on that night, based on the conversation we had that night was when we decided to do the podcast together, and so to me that is my favorite moment as it relates to Senran Kagura. That's my number one, you know, because without it, we would not be doing this show right now, and yeah, so thanks to Senran Kagura, we have a podcast together.
Wow.
But yes.
Your answer is so considerate and nice and touching, and mine is nowhere near that.
I expected so. I expected. One of us had to be the, the sappy one. It's okay.
I mean, like, that did not even cross my mind. I didn't even think of that.
You did. And that's the thing. That's why, like, when I was sitting thinking of what would be number one, it didn't come to me at first. And then, like, I was just like, you know what? It just popped into my head. I was like, we have the show to do in a bit. Because I just came up with this list right before we started. And as I was sitting thinking, I was like, you know what? That is true. This is exactly why we started the show, was because of Senran Kagura. If it wasn't for Senran Kagura, we wouldn't be doing this podcast. And I would just be doing the Button Smashers podcast every week. And then my other days would be doing other things. But now it's monopolized by pervert shit. So thanks for that, Senran Kagura. Thanks for all that pervert shit you added to my life.
Thank you, Daddy Takagi.
Okay, let's hear number one.
So my number one has nothing to do with it. I mean, I think with this thing that I found on the internet really, like, truly encapsulates everything that I like about Senran Kagura. It's a comedy bit, basically. So there, how Marvelous puts out a crap ton of, like, marketing websites and stuff for Senran Kagura. Like, you have Katsuragi's Twitter, you have Murakumo's DeviantArt page, and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Well, I found a thing, like, the ultimate thing of that, and I think because I'm a fan and I know everything about these characters, I think it just shows just everything. Like, if you're a true fan of Senran Kagura, then you'll get everything that's happening here in this chat box. So it's called shinobihot.springs.com, and so when you go in there, it automatically has, like, a chat box where you can start typing, and then it says, rated M for mature or whatever, and then you have, like, a username called Asuka, and it says, am I the first one here? Hello. And then Cat Opailar logs in and says, hi, Cat. Squeezy, and then you have other usernames called Air to Hien, and then says, I trust everyone's here, and then they start talking. They just start talking in this chat box, and then I love the fucking username. So Hibari is a bunny girl, Yagyu is bunny girl's bodyguard, and then Homura, because she doesn't really know, I'm assuming she doesn't know much about computers. Her username is just Homura, just her name 3 times. And so Mirai, who knows everything about, computers, hers is very obvious. Mirai's username is Futsude. Mm-hmm. And then, guess which one this is. This username is Death Kiss. So Death X Kiss.
Death X Kiss.
Think what character has a move called like that?
I can't remember, mate.
You were wondering, the one with the robot.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
She's that S Kiss. What move is that?
Yeah, so is Haruka? It's her L square. Is her weak square move where she in at least in Senran Kagura Burst and in Shinobi Versus, she does an animation where it looks like she's going to kiss you, but then, like, the robot arms just, like, smack you, and then she just kisses. Oh no, actually no, that's a triangle move. But anyway, like, she does, like, a kiss motion, and there's, like, this big pink kiss flying towards you, and it gives you a shit ton of status ailments, like paralyzes you and freezes you and burns you all at the same time, and it sucks.
Okay, I didn't actually. The thing is that I never actually learned the names of all the moves in Senran Kagura, so it's nice knowing that. I didn't know the names. I didn't know you knew the names. Now I'm kind of like, I feel like I've been outdone by you.
Yeah,
like, you've won up me. I feel like I need to go to Senran Kagura University and just do some studies.
Yeah.
And come back.
There are other usernames. You have, like, Deadpan Snake Eyes.
Well, obviously we know who that is.
Yeah, that's Hikage. And then this one is super funny. This one is called Hello Computer, I'm Yomi. She doesn't know anything about computers. Black Winged Angel is Miyabi.
I like that one. That is how Miyabi is. She's a Black Wind Angel, and she's adorable. Miyabi's hot.
Yeah. And so there's another one called Ruyi Bang. I don't know what Ruyi Bang is. I forget. What Kami? Whatever. Oh, Ruyi Bang. I think that's Emu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because in the chat box you see like Ruyi Bang constantly like defending Black-winged angels, saying like what they have been, they've been calling her names. What are they calling her or whatever or something like that. You have obviously Cute Shut-in. And so Cute Shut-in is Murasaki. That's another, username that we've seen in other places. She's like the #1 fan of Futsure's novel and the only fan of Futsure's novel.
Yeah, exactly. She's the only one. She's the one. That's when they ended up in Estival Vicious World, and like no one was supposed to be able to read the thing because they're not in the real world, but somehow the #1 fan was still reading it. So I think there's like a Shinobi Hat scene or something like that involved in that game.
Yeah, there's another username called Hurt Me More.
Oh well, we know who that is.
Yep, and the moment she starts talking, there's a lot of censored words. And then she gets muted.
Oh.
Yeah, she gets muted because her talk was a little bit too dirty. We have another one called Snow Conceals Everything.
Snow Conceals Everything. That sounds like what's her name? Who uses the ice?
Yeah, Yumi.
Yumi, yeah.
And then you have Ogre Mask Shinobi.
Well, then that's obvious. There's only one person with an ogre mask.
Yep. You have a Sweet Minori. Minori with like 3 M's. Sweet Minori. You have Shinobi Stylin. Hey, everybody. What's the sitch? Like,
that's what's the name with the wings and the sort of like the witch outfit.
Shiki,
correct. I normally I'd have the names in front of me, but because I'm sketching, like I'm like so out of it.
Yeah.
I'm listening and I'm responding, but I'm trying to get this perfect because I don't want to mess it up. And I told myself I won't let my sketching and get in the way of the podcast. But it's this sketch that I'm doing here is genius. See, so I have to finish it.
Yeah. There's another one called Brooklyn Rage. And then Yumi says, "Hello, Yozakura. I mean, Brooklyn Rage." What do you mean? Why is Yozakura Brooklyn Rage? Well, because she's like what, like Southern, like a mother figure. I don't know. I don't understand. But then
I don't get that one either.
There's another one called Deus Ex Kagura, and that's Asuka's grandma. That's Sayuri. Deus Ex Kagura. Oh, that's awesome. And so basically in this entire chat box, they keep...
Does Hanzo ever pop in? Does Hanzo ever pop into the chat box somehow and try to convince the girls to show some sort of something?
Yeah, and so, like, you have all of these girls that just keep constantly, like, making, like, references and talking, and everything makes sense to, the game and all that kind of stuff, and then eventually Ikariga gets all fed up and mutes everybody, because she's the moderator, and then she starts talking about, talking about, like, the meaning of the internet, and what it means to actually be on the internet. Are we actually connected or more disconnected than before, and all that kind of shit, and as soon as she unmutes everybody, it is just completely, everything just goes completely ass backwards. Everybody's talking again. And then people are just bickering constantly, and then suddenly there's a username called 10th Seat General XXXS that just puts a bunch of spam of like, I make $6,000 a week working from home, message me to find out how.
So basically a spammer.
Yeah.
Some random internet spam. I like that.
And so the more this guy keeps talking about, hey, you have nice boobs pics, please. And so everybody just keeps logging off and logging off. And then after everybody is gone, they say, like he starts to say some really weird shit. It's like, it says data collection completed, corruption spreading, Futsure Shinobi Style compilation, Orochi Rising, and then it's like all of this like hacker, symbols and stuff. And so apparently like this username was like a Yoma or like a villain or whatever, like getting everyone's information and hacking the internet or whatever. And so yeah, it's funny. And then this kind of actually carries over to something else. If you go to another side and you put like a specific login password or whatever, it'll actually show you some stuff that is supposed to be like Dogen's computer, and it has like a bio on all the different girls, showing like their strengths and their weaknesses and what faction they're in and all that kind of stuff. It's really, really cool. And like all of this isn't real life, like this is not a thing that you can see in the games.
this is something that you experience, and that's sort of like an augmented reality sort of thing. You just sort of get an extra experience from the game without being in the game, basically. And I like that. I think that's like a really cool thing. I think having that little extra content for fans while you wait for a new game, or what to supplement you while you play the game. I think that's a pretty cool thing.
So there we go. That's my number one moment. The Senran Kagura ARG, specifically talking about the Hot Springs chat box.
I like that. I really like that. That's pretty awesome. And I think that's the top 10 there with that. I just want to say, guys, I have finished my drawing just in time for the end of the podcast, right? And I got it exactly in time, right? So here's the thing. Before I even put it anywhere online, I'm gonna send Jorge the drawing that I've been sketching during the show, and so Jorge, you're gonna see it first. So I'm gonna send you this on WhatsApp because it's quick and easy that way. So I'm gonna send you this drawing, and you're gonna tell me what you think of it.
Okay.
All right, without letting known to the listeners what it is. So it's sending now. 1 tick, 2 ticks. You should be able to see it now.
Okay. Here we go. You monster.
So that's what I've been up to.
You fucking monster.
So you see, guys, I told Jorge I was drawing myself, which I did.
You certainly did.
But there's more to it, and I'm not gonna tell you. You guys are gonna see it. I'll post it somewhere. And what should I give this drawing a name? Should I name it something?
You fucking monster.
You fucking monster. Okay, then that's gonna be the name of the drawing. I'm not gonna write it in my handwriting because my handwriting sucks. Should I try? Should I just try anyway?
Just do it. Do it in the most beautiful cursive you could ever write.
My cursive is terrible. Let me see. You.
Mm-hmm. Fa.
Why did I type an N in for? I mean, seriously, it's not fun.
Letters aren't fun.
Okay.
Were you like very slowly, very deliberately trying to do this right?
No. Just trying to remember how to spell the word monster. So there it is. Terribly written in and everything like that. And I'm gonna upload this to our Facebook page, and you guys will get to see this image that I did. And I'm gonna put should I even sign this?
Yeah, sign it. Let people know who was responsible for this atrocity.
Yeah, let me sign it. I'm gonna sign it in black ink. Yeah, let me just sign this here.
Yeah, it'll go down in history. In like 3,000 years' time, people will investigate the ancient civilization that used to exist, and they will look at that drawing and be like, so that's how it is.
Exactly. They'll be like, oh, so that's the things that went on in that civilization and stuff. All right, so I tried something. This is the drawing I did while we were doing the podcast. I wanted to do something special, and I did. I think I did a good job. Hilariously done. And yeah, that is a thing. How do I save this now? Okay, now it's...
Control S, save as.
Okay, I'm not gonna save it as... It's asking me to save it as a PNG, so I'm just gonna save it as a PNG. And it's saved! It is done!
Yay!
And I can close this application because it's been on my screen all this time, and I need to close it because I need to actually see the rest of the stuff that's going on my computer. So
well, there you go. With that piece of beautiful art finished, and with our list finished, all we can say now is that I look very much forward for Daddy Takaki's new video game, whether it's Senran Kagura 3 or it's another versus game, or it's like another spin-off where you have like wet t-shirts and water guns. I don't give a fuck. It's Senran Kagura, okay? I'll get it no matter what, or we'll get it if we beg enough for a key.
Exactly. We'll get a key. Don't worry about it.
Also, now that Shinobi Versus is on PC, you can. It's a pretty safe bet that maybe we'll see other Senran Kagura games on PC as well, right?
I think so. At least I believe they should be bringing other Senran Kagura games on PC, especially with how well it's sold on the PC.
Yeah.
And I think it would be very it would be very wise of them to put Estival Versus on there and whatever else they come out with after. I mean, yeah, it would make sense.
It's gonna be very weird seeing Estival Versus with like Xbox buttons.
Definitely. Question, Jorge. There's a picture on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
From Shining Winds. I can't remember what Shining Wind is. Is this a game?
It's an RPG, yeah.
And
the art was made by the wonderful Lord Tony Taka, one of the most awesome artists out there that make anime stuff, especially sexy anime stuff.
And this is only on PS2. Is it available on like Virtual Console or something?
I don't know. I think it came out in Japan only. It's that's one of the games where they got their characters for that Shining Arc whatever fighting game.
Contact is hot. I'm looking at it on Google. Like, wow, these are some fine game bitches.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I was literally about to sing the song as well.
Oh my god! And with that, guys, thanks for listening to this episode of Ecchicast. I lost what we were doing on here. Thanks for listening to this episode of the podcast. This is what episode is this? Is this like 25 or something?
26.
26. So this is episode 26 of Ecchicast. Thanks for listening to this episode, guys. If you want to follow us, you can follow us on Facebook. Our Facebook page is Ecchicast. If you want to check out the stuff that we do, the stuff that we talk about, you can head over to the website thebuttonsmashers.com, where you'll find news, reviews, podcasts, and other great things. I'm just repeating what Jorge says in every video he puts on the YouTube channel. And where you can find our YouTube channel, which is also The Button Smashers. If you want to check out Jorge and what he does when he's not doing stuff for the site, or maybe when he's doing stuff for the site but he's doing weird things as well, and other cool things and other things, you can find him at the Hat Person on pretty much everything: YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, name it. If you want to find me on pretty much everything, it's LP Garden. That's Garden without a U. And yeah, I think that's it. Oh, and if you guys like this show, make sure to give us a review. Like, seriously, we know there are a lot of you out there, and I'm just saying, if you want to keep the Shiggle lights on, and you want more people to join the beautiful Shiggle-tastic nation that we have here going on, all these awesome perfect
5 stars, or you end up like the chicken.
5 stars, mate. I mean, seriously, just 5 stars. That's all it takes. I mean, just come on, man. Damn it.
And if I see that you put 4.5 stars and said, it's okay, then you're gonna fucking feel my wrath.
It's gonna be terrible for you. I'm just letting you know. It's pretty much what it is.
But you know, who am I to say? You can do whatever you want. This is a free country.
Pretty much. Yeah, you can do whatever you want. I mean, chickens end up in pots.
But you should totally give us 5 stars on iTunes.
Yeah, it's just, it's courteous if you like this anyway.
Yeah.
Oh my god, there are hot figurines for this game!
And with that, we're leaving. If you'll excuse us, we're gonna go and look at hot figurines. We'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.